Tonight, you'll walk past a dark hallway and flick on a light without thinking twice. But your body doesn't know the switch exists. Somewhere underneath the calm, a much older part of your brain is still watching the shadows, still waiting, still afraid. That fear has a name. For most of human history, people called it a devil. Every culture on Earth built one. Horns, red skin, glowing eyes, a shape that moves wrong. You'd think these ideas came from nowhere. They didn't. They came from the dark itself, and from what actually lived in it. Your early ancestors slept in open camps, in shallow caves, on grasslands shared with animals that saw far better at night than they did. Big cats, hyenas, snakes coiled where warmth pooled. The threat wasn't imaginary. It was real, and it was patient. So the brain adapted. It learned to treat unclear shapes as dangerous by default. A rustling bush was a predator until proven otherwise. A shadow at the edge of the fire was a threat until it stepped into the light. This is called threat detection bias, and it's remarkably simple. It means, when you're not sure, assume danger. Guess wrong about a shadow, and you waste a second of adrenaline. Guess wrong about a real predator, and you don't get a second chance. The ancestors who assumed the worst survived more often than the ones who shrugged it off. Over thousands of generations, that jumpy, cautious brain won. It's the one you inherited. But here's the strange part. That inherited fear didn't stay quiet. It needed a shape, a story, something to explain why the dark felt so wrong. So people built devils. Not because they were foolish, but because a named fear is easier to manage than a formless one. If the danger has horns and a face, you can paint it on a wall, warn your children about it, build a ritual around avoiding it. A devil is fear with a job. Look closely at devil myths across the world, and the pattern repeats. Red skin, like fire and blood and warning colors in nature. Horns, borrowed from the animals that actually gored people. Eyes that glow, because that's exactly what a predator's eyes do when firelight catches them in the dark. Ancient minds weren't inventing monsters from nothing. They were sketching, from memory, the things that had actually hunted them. And it worked. Communities that feared the dark stayed near the fire. They didn't wander off alone at night. They kept watch. The devil wasn't just a story told to frighten children. It was a survival tool disguised as folklore, quietly keeping people alive long enough to raise the next generation. Which brings you back to tonight, and that hallway, and the switch on the wall. You don't believe in devils. Not really. But when the lights go out and the house creaks, something in you still checks the corners, still hesitates for half a second before stepping into the dark. That hesitation isn't superstition, it's inheritance. It's the same ancient alarm system that once kept a small, vulnerable species alive on a dangerous planet, still quietly doing its job, long after the predators it was built for are gone. So the next time a shadow makes you flinch, you're not being irrational, you're being ancestral.